This program is sponsored by Dave Stahl.
Power on. Power on.
It's time to take your place on the starting grid and get ready for Racer Radio. Your host, Dave Stahl, about to take you for a white-knuckled lap around the motorsports industry, covering everything from top-notch national drivers and crew chiefs right down to your local kid racers and racetracks. Watch for the apex, because here comes Racer Radio with Dave Stahl.
All right, folks, welcome back. This is Racer Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170. The Answer. All right, folks, welcome back. This is Racer Radio, FM 96.1, AM 1170.
The Answer.
They also support Barona Speedway, baronaspeedway.com. Check them out. I was out there yesterday with Dirt Dude, and he's on the line right now. How you doing, buddy?
I'm holding up. How about you guys?
We're not doing too bad at all. The track looked good yesterday. We had, 4 or 5 cars? What division was that? I keep forgetting.
We had a couple of streets and then a super stock, which we don't run anymore, but he just came out and did some practicing because they're still running in Paris. I wanted to kick in something. You guys talking about the whole thing with Petaluma Speedway. One of our drivers up there was up there, Dan Verner.
Yeah.
And it looked like he had pretty good first day. Second day, he has front end damage to the car, so I'm not sure how bad.
And a lot of drivers showed up, too. Like, it was no guarantee to get into the A main.
They had 100, over 100 cars?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure if you're racing anywhere here in California right now, anyone is going to go there, especially if you're running Dwarf Cars or something like that, because that's a sanction. I mean, that's a national. So you're going to get everyone from, Western states, and then probably from out from Arizona and all that stuff. So probably good turnout for them.
Yeah, that's what I thought so too.
Yeah, I think Dan had a good time. I sent him a few text messages wishing him well because he was a local driver.
Yeah, he told me it's pretty frustrating. He goes I think there was 36.
Sportsman?
Sportsman, 36 sportsmen. And he's like, you have to race your way in. And I think he made it in the first day. I'm not sure about the second day because I haven't seen his report yet or anything like that from him.
But that's part of it, That is part of it. But wait for him. He stepped up, though. So that was awesome.
Yeah, that's a nice-looking car.
Oh, my gosh. I saw it before it was ever raced. He went out to the hustle over Thanksgiving, Harvest Hustle, out in Arizona, and it was immaculate. It's a beautiful car, and I was like, it's so clean.
I was surprised. He's like you. He's jumping in late in the game. I mean, I don't think he's had much for racing experience, and he starts off in a dwarf car. I'm like, okay.
I know, right? It's not ideal, but if you're invested like I was,
I think that's a good. Don't you think that's a good entry car to get into?
No.
What would you say would be a good entry car?
Stock car, maybe?
A pure stock is the best thing to get your feet wet in. A pure stock, because, you're racing these dwarf cars you're racing against some advanced drivers with some, nice pockets. And if you're just showing up just with a basic car, these guys are just going to show you their lunch and say, see ya.
Yeah, and he showed up, though, with a good car, but they're just not the easiest to handle. But if there's a will, there's a way. Too. You do it, though. He's invested. I was invested emotionally and financially. I was like, there's no turning back now.
Well, I think it's great because I followed his story for a while. I mean, he actually, took a long time to build this car because he was, on a budget, and then finally just went with it.
You got to do that sometimes. Yeah, tear off that Band-Aid.
I hate tearing off Band-Aids.
Hey, you got to sometimes. And he did. And hopefully you had a good time.
We had a great time on Saturday. It's nice and thankful that Dave showed up and got the good look at the track. The track, when we were sitting and talking about it, it's basically ready whenever we can go ahead and go. It's just, the final prep, some final fit and polish work, cut down all the weeds, but, the roads are all there. I guess Todd was talking about he was going to call in today, but he had another urgent message come up, so he texted me and said have me call in. But he's talking about next weekend that's going to get together with Paul Dyke and some people and try and go over how we can do our social distancing, how we can do our spacing, what we're going to do as far as parking, to get everyone in there, and then it's just waiting for the go ahead.
Maybe talk to Petaluma. They just did it this weekend.
And it was but it was without fans.
True. But
they had no fans at that one?
No, they did not.
But Todd and I talked yesterday, and God bless Petaluma, but most tracks can't afford to run a race without fans because fans are the bread and butter. That's what pays the bills and buying the food and the beer and the sodas. I mean, you got to have fans. Otherwise it's really hard to campaign a track.
Well, you have to figure out what all the cost of going in the track, your equipment, your fuel, insurance, everything that goes with it, plus the driver's payout. That all has to come from your front gate, your back gate. Yeah. Okay. And, what helps is with sponsors is they kind of cover some of your initial costs, like your fuel or, track maintenance stuff. Or, insurance is huge. That's going to be most of your money going out. So, you have to have the revenue coming in, which like NASCAR has a huge budget for their advertising because they're still selling commercial rights on a TV show. So they don't have to worry about it. The most that they're going to lose out of is your fan count in the stands, and that's just going to go back to the track promoter or owner. And I'm sure they're probably getting something for being open and their time and effort. Well, and the announcer at Barona, that guy makes so much money. He's really expensive. That's probably what it is. It's the price tag for the announcer. I know. I think you pegged it, Dave. Hey, he rolled up in a Rolls Royce yesterday. Yeah. Okay. He had a Barona sticker on it, but he rolled up in a Rolls Royce. Sure he did. Yeah. Actually, he was walking. I have to do my civic duty, that's my work release program. And by the way, Brittany, I should have taken a picture of his hair. You wouldn't believe it. He's sporting a new do. Oh. It's called the Corona look. Well, I got the Corona color going on, so. Yeah, but his is way sportier than yours. He has a wing. It's not hip in it. I am now sporting what is like a bro mohawk. Yeah, it's a modified. Yeah, that's good. It's a bro mohawk. I kind of saw that when you said the word wing. It's the brohawk, it was kind of started out the faux hawk, but then it went to the brohawk because it's a little bit longer now, and I had the mousse in the hair to point it up and everything. So you won't see it. Did it go home dusty? It wasn't. Well, we were high enough up on the track, and they were only allowing one car at a time on the track, so we didn't get a lot of dust. And then who's that gentleman that drove the water truck? Bart? That's Bardo. The old Bardo, man, he wasn't going to let that thing get dusty. Oh, really? Oh, no, Bardo was all over it. He does like to water that track. He does like to water. It's awesome when you anticipate and you set up your car for a particular track, and then you see Bart come out, and you're like, shucks, I just set my car up for a dry run, and now look what he's doing to me. Yeah, I think he might enjoy doing that. Yeah. He's all, here comes Brittany. A little bit better, though. So usually you don't see a water truck come out before the Dwarf Cars because they're so small and everything. But usually they'll water right before a mod. That's why the mod guys are always all upset because you bring the water truck out for them. But the thing is they have the horsepower and the bigger tires, so they can run it in a lot. Yeah. But he loves it. He was chuckling. He goes, oh, yeah, watch this. I love going out there. That car's too clean. I think he has more fun watering the track than anything. So right now, is it just rentals? Yeah. Can you rent the track out? Right. It is private track rentals, and the drag strip was running this whole weekend. Private rentals, limited groups. I know Paris is talking about they're going to do some private rentals, limited groups, and then we're talking about as soon as we can kind of get going again, we're actually going to do an open practice. That's what I'm waiting for. Our first race night will be an open practice night once we get the go-ahead. And that'll help us kind of get situated on how we're going to run the whole show kind of thing. Yeah. A good test run before we actually do our first race. I talked to Skip 2 weeks ago. He said there's over 100 of us registered, our numbers, and 30 junior drivers. So, yeah, lots of us. So, folks, if you're listening to this and you like the Barona Speedway, you can sponsor in the anything out there. They could use as much
money as possible so that when we do get ready to go, they'll be ready as well. Because a lot of sponsors haven't renewed their signage out there. Mm-hmm. A lot of sponsors. I mean, I know El Cajon Ford has been really big, and I'm going to throw some money at Barona as well from Racer Radio, just to help get the first race off and get everybody, back on the track.
Yes, a nice big sign, and not only do the spectators see it when we have spectators, but everyone who's filming. And there's on Facebook, they'll all see that behind the scene,
And there's about 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 6 spots on the fence that are still available. That you a local bit, and you don't have to be race related.
No.
You could be Antonelli's. You could be, Joe's Cleaners. It doesn't make any difference. But if you're into sports or racing, dirt racing especially, we need to keep supporting our tracks. I mean, we lost Cajon Speedway. We don't want to lose Barona, so it's going to take the general public to make that happen.
We are willing to put your business or your family name anywhere you'd like.
That's right.
On that track. I even offered up the water truck, the tank on the water truck.
Yeah, I think that
someone wants to put their name there, we'll put it there.
I'm thinking about a construction company. I think, what do they call budget grading? That looks like that would look good on the side of the water truck.
Or shaved in the side.
Out a little bit. Like ASI, the White Glove guys last year were a big help with us, and they helped out in the Dwarf Car events.
We got to promote that water truck, because that water truck's out there all the time. That just means Bardo's got to wash it.
Oh, God.
Yeah. They just did a bunch of work in the off-season in that thing to get it ready for the next season, and now we're just on hold.
Yeah, all right. All right, buddy. Hey, I'm going to let you go. Thank you very much for yesterday. That was a lot of fun. And I've committed to you that I'll be at all the races. Yeah, once the season gets cranking up and going. So you're going to have me out there chasing you around.
It's just a taste of what's to come this season.
You got it, brother. All right, take care. BaronaSpeedway.com. BaronaSpeedway.com. FM 96.1. AM 1170.
The Answer.